hit record, and we're good.
All right, welcome back, everyone, to another episode of the Away Fans. We have the Match Week 9 preview show coming at you right now. Me and Nicholas both back, ready to go in full form with no international breaks until March.
Yeah, something wild like that. There's a huge wait.
Yeah, your camera's a little bit out of focus.
I know, I see that. There I am.
There you go. Just don't move.
Stay with me. Stay with me.
Yeah, thank you guys for tuning in again. We got an exciting weekend coming up. A couple decent sized games and a couple snoozers. But yeah, we're starting off with our recap of where we are in terms of our season long betting competition between me and Nicholas.
Yep.
So Nick, take it away.
Actually, well, can you hear me right now?
I can hear you.
All right, I just wanna do this before we
You brought props?
I didn't bring props. Oh, it's inside out. Wait. So obviously last year I won. I thought I would show off the winning purchase. There it is. I did get a name on the back, but
did it come like that?
It
though?
didn't come like that. So
That's who'd you get on the back?
Irwin.
Or who? Who?
Dennis Irwin.
Oh wow, that stinks.
Classic United fullback. Yeah, because I was like, I had to like look up the roster of that year's jersey just to make sure I was like right, because I was thinking that, and he was on it, and then I was like, oh, this can be sick. It's like kind of like, it's not a lesser known player, but like no one has Irwin jerseys, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but
it didn't work out though.
They're
like, we're gonna save this kid from getting bullied.
Yeah,
so we're not gonna print his jersey.
But yeah. Okay, so right now though, you are up 10-3.
Yeah.
It's an embarrassing show, but whatever.
You want to kick things off with your first bet?
Yeah, let me pull that bad boy up real quick. All right, so match week 9. My bets. So my first one is City versus Brighton over 3.5 goals.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Total. It's a lot, but
what's that at?
-102.
So they think it's gonna happen. They think someone's gonna run over someone, and probably City over Brighton.
Yeah, but it's also they're both pretty free flowing, scoring a lot of goals. So I think the lanes will be open.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see that. That game I'm very interested in. That'll be out of the 10 a.m. games, I think that'll be the one.
I mean, I could see that. Screen. I could see that being a 4-2.
I could see it. Yeah, 3-2. Anything like there's a lot of possibilities there. I think you're right. I think it could be free flowing. I think that benefits City obviously, but I think Brighton,
in the same way that benefits Brighton. You know what I mean? Yeah. I think they'll both be happy to go at. I hope they're both happy to go at it.
Yeah,
because that would be the most entertaining game. But we'll see.
So my first bet, I went with the same game, but I took Julian Alvarez to get 2 or more shots on target because he's been flying lately. I think he'll score, but I didn't have as much confidence going with the goal scorer.
1 more shots on target.
Yeah, on target.
Okay.
And that's at +120, which I actually like that.
Yeah.
I think like we both have said, I think it's going to be an attacking game.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
As long as he starts, otherwise,
I was gonna say that's the one risk, but still, if he comes on,
you don't know. Should be okay.
My next one was Arsenal-Chelsea. Arsenal money line.
You can double down on that one. That's my second one as well.
All right, nice. I assumed you would have kept that one in there.
I just get scared of betting on Arsenal. I try not to as much as possible because I know my biases come in.
Absolutely, and that
leads... I think that's great value, honestly. Like, I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm not
surprised they're a plus.
I'm not worried about Chelsea, but I have heard a lot of fans saying that they expect it to be a tight game. But we'll see. We'll see what happens.
I mean, it should be. I always go into every derby expecting some sort of
Yeah.
close game. You don't really expect it to be too one-sided. But
Yeah.
my next one was going off bias: Sheffield United versus Man United. We're gonna find out who's the real United team, and I got Man United winning.
If they lose this one, is Ten Hag out? Are you finally joining?
No,
Still no.
I'm never going there. No.
Fair enough. My third bet, I have the Merseyside derby. I have Liverpool beating Everton. So Liverpool money.
Got it.
I don't see a world where Everton won that game at Anfield.
Yeah, I don't see one either, but
I was going to take Darwin Núñez to score, but no guarantees that he starts
Núñez.
either.
He came from Benfica to the Big Reds. All right. That's enough.
So yeah, there's our bets. Make sure you guys follow along and see, you know, if you can win some money. I've been fairly positive so far this season.
What?
With my bets. I've been on the up, and you've been like...
Oh, I thought you meant like you've been like positive going into every weekend. Like you're gonna hit them.
I do think there's a chance I could go 3 for 3 on this.
I go into every week thinking I'm going to be 3 for 3, but I've been 0 for 3 for the last 3 fucking weeks. Probably more than that, actually. I have 3 points on match week 9. That's like ridiculous. That's so bad. That's so bad. Like, I think you're doing good, but I won't even call what you're doing amazing.
No,
like, it's just a standard. Yeah. I just suck right now. Whatever.
Yeah, I'm at 10 out of 27. Well, no. Because it should be an extra point for each week, too. So 27 plus 9, so that's 36. So I have 10 out of a possible 36 total. You have 3.
Yikes, that's so bad. Oh my god. Wait. 3 games. Because we do 9 times 3.
Because it's 3
27.
Per, right, but then we do the bonus if you get 3 out of 3.
Okay.
So that's another point for every match week.
Yeah, whatever.
So yeah, we're not great, but we're gonna turn it around, man. We're gonna go 3 for 3.
We are gonna turn it around. I have a good feeling about this.
Yeah. Plus, I mean, your real shining moment is gonna be the Champions League bets once we get into the knockouts.
Yeah.
Because the group stage is like you don't know what teams are gonna take it seriously, what teams aren't. Blah blah. Once we get knockouts, that's where we're making money.
That's my bread and butter right there.
Yeah.
My cream cheese and bagels, some would say.
Yeah. All right. So to move on from that, this past weekend, we saw the U.S. play. Was it this weekend, or was it? It was like Tuesday or something.
Nah, yeah, it was midweek Tuesday. Or like that Wednesday.
We saw the U.S. men's national team play against Ghana in a game that saw the U.S. win 4-0.
Yeah.
Yeah. So at halftime, and then. Yeah, no one else scored, right? Ended 4-0. Yeah, I mean, what are your thoughts on the game, how it went? You like what you see?
Apparently, I didn't watch the Germany game because there was some shitty boxing going on. We already talked about it, but so I didn't watch it. Apparently, there was a lot of fallout on the online U.S. men's national teams, like chats and stuff like that. Apparently people were not happy. From what I heard, though, we had a great first half and they just better team second half. So I'm not really sure what the fallout or why people were so upset.
I think Germany, in the Germany game, we were defensively very weak. It looked like, at least from when I was watching, like Dest was out of position a lot, which you can see how, because like even in the Ghana game, he was forward.
Yeah.
Like he was playing, which in a game where you're controlling the ball and everything like that, it works. But there's got to be a shift between those. And the midfield presence wasn't there. Like defensively and midfield. I think in games where we're controlling the ball, our midfield without Tyler Adams can be super effective because all those players are very forward thinking. But like Tyler Adams would have been helpful in Germany because there was a lot of gaps between the midfield and defensive line.
I'm curious to see the stats because I don't even know if we had more possession.
In the Ghana game?
In the Ghana game, yeah. Like I'm
Did we
not.
not?
I can't find it, and it's irritating the hell out of me. I can't find that stat, but like, I don't even think we need to have possession.
No, we had less possession. You're right.
Yeah, for Dest to do that, and
Yeah.
I would rather have him try to do that every game
Oh yeah. Yeah.
than not try to do that, because if he doesn't try to do that, guess what? Dest is a mediocre right back. You know what I'm saying? Like he has
Yeah.
to, you have to let him do stuff like that in order to. And he was so good, so
Against
good in the
Ghana,
game.
he was unplayable. I
It
mean-
was amazing.
He's so exciting to watch when he's attacking like that, and he's such a good dribbler. Like that's, I think, the thing that flies under the radar for so many people is like, maybe not so many people, but at least like U.S. fans who are automatically negative about the team is like Dest is a very good dribbler as an outside back. Like his composure to take it through the middle, beat 3 or 4 different players is, you don't see many right backs doing that.
it's incredible, and
It's close control.
And I'm thinking, I don't watch his PSV games, but I'm thinking to myself, like, he has to be just incredible in that league. Like, that is just you have to have there has to be a certain level for you to really try that. And I think that is the level.
Yeah.
Which isn't, I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but like, if you can have a player who can do that at that level, like, it's crazy. He really is so good.
Yeah,
And
I enjoyed watching him a lot.
there was one play just going around the team where Awea controlled the ball and flicked it over their left back.
Yeah.
And I was like,
and the left back stopped.
Yeah, watching that, I was like, I don't think I've ever seen an American player that can even do that. Like, that is just, and it's really, it's not like it's a crazy trick in it's ball control, but you know what I'm trying to say? Like, it's not like a 3-step over.
But even just to have the balls to do it.
Just to do it.
Yeah.
And just the speed to absolutely leave that guy. I mean, he's so fucking quick. He didn't score, but out of every player,
I mean,
yeah, I know one
of the best defensive midfielders.
Yeah, but
Partey's fast.
Still, yeah, I didn't realize how fast he was. I didn't realize until that play. I was like, holy shit, Partey actually caught up to him. Like, that's crazy.
You don't remember against Man United last year?
Yeah.
He caught up to Anthony.
Yeah, it was the same exact thing actually.
In those like long sprints, he's quick.
And he's a big boy, so it's one of those things where it looks slower when he's running, but he's actually making up the same amount of ground.
Yeah.
But I was the most impressed with him. I was like, I think you've been saying it for a while, and I've agreed with you, but I don't think I was like, he might be the first player on the team sheet.
Yeah.
Like he's that level now where it's just, you have to have him. There's no one else that can do that on that team.
Yeah, I mean, his speed and just like the skill on the ball. I mean, this is the most technically gifted that I've seen a U.S. team ever by far.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and it's all over the field too. Like, not even as much Pulisic. Like, Pulisic is a pretty direct, like, winger. Like, a couple touches, move side to side, and just run past you. Like, he's not doing many step overs at least. He might do, a couple, whatever. But, like, Weah will square you up, beat you 2 or 3 times, and then go past. Like, he's that skilled, like, flair winger, which I think is good for a U.S. team that has never had that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
and for growing the game in general. I think, like, young fan, like, that was all over ESPN,
Yes, exactly. And I think
Barstool, everything.
I think we talked about this in, like, the very first episode. Yep. The need to have a player that is a role model. Yep. That's why you see, Portugal have, since, like, Luis Figo, like, they have the same mold of player, the same type of winger come through every single generation. And you have, like, certain countries have a single type of player.
Yep.
Italy has you'd call it probably a CDM now, but it wasn't always like that. They had that same mold of player come through. No one else would get it, but they would
Yeah.
have that player every single time. And I think like it's just so good to have that for us, and we have it all over the field now.
Yeah.
And it's just the thing with Way is he's not just that trickster dribbler. Like he is the fastest person on the field. He stretches the ball so well.
Yeah.
And
he's strong, like physically strong.
Yeah.
Like he's a built dude.
And the other thing I noticed during that game that I didn't know, but it makes sense just because of where he's played. I thought Balogun was more of someone who leads the line and doesn't move, just leads the line and stretches the field.
Yep.
His link up play with Des with Weo dropping in was easy. And I used to, I had thoughts that our other nines were probably going to be better at that because they were used to dropping in.
Yeah.
No one can do that. No one on the field, no one on the bench does that in the same level at all.
Yep.
I mean, that's just the strongest 11 I've ever seen play.
Yeah.
Ever seen play.
Yeah, and I agree. I think Balogun, especially like the goal he scored, to have the composure to, let it come across your body, spin, and finish into the far corner. Like, how many U.S. forwards in the last 5 years would have just shot that right foot and tried to, like, power it through the keeper?
Yeah, especially because they're all righties, you know what I mean? Like,
right, so to spin and, take your time, put the defender down, and then finish in the corner, like, that's just, a different level that we're going to see now.
And I think everyone is really confident, but I think all that confidence comes from, you don't have to be the guy on the field to do it. Like, they can trust every other person to make an attempt. I feel like watching the U.S. team the last 2 years, 3 years, I felt like, oh, you can see Christian's the best player on the field. He's trying stuff.
Yep.
He's the only one that can do stuff. We could make entire attacks down the right side. Probably more effective attacks down the right side.
I thought our best attacks came from
and before it was like you have to go down that left to get anything productive.
And I think that's where like you start to see and that he's playing again is the brilliance of Gio Reyna too.
Yeah.
I think in terms of having someone so comfortable. No, he's so comfortable on the ball all the time, and he just like some of the passes he was making to these guys were like, it's just perfect. Like it couldn't have been any harder or softer to make the receiver's job any easier, and that's what we haven't had.
We haven't had that, and we talked actually last episode. I had concerns about him playing as like a dual 8 with Musa. Mm-hmm. I was thinking same thing with Balogun. He's gonna be too far up. He wants to be too far up. I mean, he came deep to get the ball.
Yeah, he was in like the right back position when Des wasn't there.
And he was amazing. He looked like he was comfortable controlling the ball back there.
Yep.
It's like everything that needed to go right, or everything that there was worries about for me at least, looks like it's not a problem.
Yeah, and granted, it was a weak Ghana side that we were playing, but when's the last Ghana did fairly well in the World Cup last year or a couple years ago, and last year, and they've been good on the international stage. For it's not like we're playing against this no-name country. Like they've been decent. Yeah,
they've been decent. And I think their weak players are extremely weak. But even Jordan Ayew would pick up the ball and just couldn't do anything. Partey had some great. Yeah, Inaki Williams, his name got said 3 times during that whole game.
Yeah.
Kudos turned it on the very end, but even when he turned it on, just nothing was going to come from it. You know what I mean? It's like these guys who, Jordan Ayew would fit somewhere on that team. He's so calm on the ball. Partey would easily start. Yeah. Kudos probably wouldn't start on the U.S. team.
Yeah, currently.
So it's just, I don't know. It's like really, there's a team there that can do something for sure.
I think the biggest issue now is thinking about the depth at certain positions.
Yes, absolutely.
Who comes in after if Way gets injured.
And I'm actually the depth going forward is I think the weakest. Which you might I don't know if you agree with you.
Defense is, I think, fine.
I mean,
think we
I
get
haven't
there.
heard of that Maloney guy.
Yep.
He came in and looked completely comfortable. Like I hadn't heard
Yep.
him at all, and I was like, "Oh, that's a solid midfielder."
Yep.
Johnny
Yep.
Conrado, what is his name again?
Yep.
Um,
Um,
I have it right here. This one, Cardoso. Sorry,
Cardoso. Yep.
looked great. Looked comfortable being on the ball. Carter
Yep.
Vickers is a great center back. Like he
Yeah.
really is. I mean,
And
not
you
like
had McKenny coming off the bench this game.
Kenny coming off
Like,
the bench.
and honestly, like I don't think McKenny gets into the starting team currently because I
You
think
can't.
Tyler Adams comes in and plays that defensive role, and I think McKenny is the first name off the bench, but I don't think he can get in the starting lineup.
First name, yeah.
You can't take Reyna off the field. I don't think as the attacking midfielder.
No, and McKenny is he's like a perfect player to come off the bench. He has
Yep.
so much energy. He's a fucking
Yep.
body. He'll be everywhere on the field.
Mhm.
He'll score a goal for you off a header eventually.
Yep.
Like he gets in the box for that type of.
Yeah.
And I really hope he's comfortable playing the
Yeah.
12th man, the super sub role. And I'm sure he'll get games, but in the biggest game you put your best 11,
Yep.
he's not there.
I also was impressed with Hansen, the left back.
Yes, yeah.
I've only seen a few games of his, and I thought he was very, very solid. And I think
Looked
he's the perfect.
really good.
I think he's perfect on the other side. With Des pushing up, because Hansen seemed to have a little more defensive wherewithal. Where
Yeah.
he was more concerned about his positioning. Where
Yeah,
he was like, "Shit, I gotta fill in." Because eventually, if in attack, you play a back three essentially. So he was able to see, okay, Des going forward. I need to
yeah. And I
drop in.
one of the differences with Des is obviously Des wants to come in with the ball
Yeah.
and be at the corner of the 18 almost, like that's his kind of area.
Yeah.
And because Wea is willing to stick out wide and get that cross in, well, Christian will come in. The Hansen was touch line the whole time,
Yeah.
staying
Yep.
really wide, and that's
A couple
what
good
you
overlaps
need.
too.
Yeah, that's what
Yep.
you need someone like that, and I think Robinson does that too. But for the first time I think I've seen Hansen, he looked comfortable.
Well, my problem, and this has been, I think, well broadcast on I think the podcast.
Yeah,
I think Robinson's first touch is dreadful,
yeah, it's
and
bad.
that's where I thought Hansen really I think his control on the ball was much better, and
Mhm.
I'd feel a lot better even if he's not as quick as Robinson, because that's Robinson's main
That's
thing. Is how
his
fast he
thing.
is.
Yeah.
I think even without him being as quick, his positioning along with his passing range and just the touch, the comfortability that Pulisic was a couple of the passes back, he hit him hard in the air at Hansen.
Yeah,
And I was
yeah, he did get some height. Yeah,
and
I
I'm
did see that.
damn, you're just firing the ball at this kid, but he settled everything. Played out fine, never had a real issue. So I'd much rather have that in terms of a defensive player.
Yeah, and I think that's the one position on our field where you can maybe afford to be a weaker overall player just because you can trust. You almost want Christian to be kind of not isolated, but have space on that side where we're not always forcing it down his throat, where he can kind of sneak in or just get time on the ball, and if we just rush it down the right side and get a switch over to him.
Yeah.
Matt Turner looked great in goal too. He didn't have to do anything. He make a great save. You can't ask anything more from a keeper.
Yeah.
He constantly looks slightly uncomfortable on the ball.
Yeah.
But he doesn't. Doesn't
he
fuck it
gets,
up.
right to the edge of fucking up.
Yeah, which until he gets over that edge, I'm whatever. I'm happy with it. But I think it was great.
Yeah, and I think too with Reyna playing in that attacking midfield role, I think over time of him and Pulisic and all those guys playing together too, there's scope for them to switch throughout the game too, because Reyna has played as a winger for years too.
Yeah.
If Pulisic's not getting the ball where he needs to go, he can drop into that midfield role and just kind of tell Reyna go out wide. Just to switch things up too. I think that's where because Weah can't do it. So if that's the main thing, it's I think it could be exciting. But after watching, sorry, you got more?
I got a little bit more.
Go ahead.
You're talking about the switching. I mean, there was about a 10-minute period where Christian went into like the cam roll and Gio went outside.
Yeah, yeah.
I just think those guys have all played together so
Mm-hmm.
much over the years, and they clearly all enjoy playing with each other.
Yeah.
But like what I was probably most impressed with, besides Weah, was Balogun's. He fit. There was no like misplaced passes because you thought
Yeah.
someone was going to be there. Like
Yeah.
it fit in really, really well.
Yeah.
So that front three is going to be
The
It's gonna
pass
be
he had to
something.
Pulisic that Pulisic missed.
Yeah.
Or he shot it right at the keeper. That was a great run and
Yeah.
pass.
he could. And Balogun could have had 2 more goals off a header and
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
another shot he missed wide, but
Yeah.
looks really good.
So after watching the game and everything, we decided right now we're going to put together our U.S. men's national team, our perfect lineups, which I think there's not going to be much variation between them.
I can't
um,
imagine. We might miss one position. I think.
Yeah. So we're gonna read those out, and if there is any debating to be had, we'll debate that quick, and then we'll head into the Premier League matches for the weekend.
Sounds good.
So the front three, I think I hate them.
You go.
For the front three, I think we're pretty much set. It's Pulisic, Balogun,
Yeah.
Weah.
Yep.
I think in the midfield we're probably set too. I had Musa, Reina, Adams.
It's got to be. It's got to be. Yeah.
Yep. And I think that's so. This is where I guess the next step is for U.S. soccer, because you think about like the England team, and you're like, there's 6 players that could play in that midfield, and be confident there.
Mm-hmm.
Right now we have 4 with McKennie. I would say that that we're like
Four
starting options.
Yes, 4 starting options where I'm like over the moon that they're playing for the U.S. national team.
Yeah,
You know what
yeah.
I mean? I think
But the
there's.
drop off from there. I think
But after that, I still think there's 2 guys who I'm like,
yeah,
I'm comfortable with them. I'm not, over the moon, but I'm comfortable with them being there. Which is 6 players like that, and that's great.
Yeah. Hey, at left back, I want to keep Hansen there until I see something more impressive from Robinson.
I actually
personally.
have the kind of the opposite thought process. I've seen more of Robinson. I think Hansen probably could be the better player. I think Joe Scally could be the better
Just
player.
yeah.
But until I see more from Hansen, that just proves that he's at that level. I would keep Robinson for now. But
Fair enough. I had Chris Richards. I liked what I saw of him. He looks like a strong.
at the left
imposing
center back.
figure. At left center back is where I have him.
Okay.
Is that okay with you? Or no?
For the next year or 2, I have Tim Ream.
True.
I love Tim Ream.
Yeah. I had Tim Ream at right center back.
Oh, okay. All right.
I still want him there. I'm not completely convinced by Miles Robinson.
Me either. And
I think Chris Richards should play over him.
I think he's a great player, but we're getting to the point where if you play in the MLS, are you playing at a high enough level constantly to go into like a big tournament? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just I don't think that's true.
Right there, that is gonna be clipped. If you play in the MLS, are you playing at a high enough level to do well in a tournament? As Messi just annihilated the poor guy.
Well, yeah,
Who were
that's
they
not
playing?
the
Was it
same.
Peru or something?
Yeah.
Or he like cut back on the same guy like 4 times.
Yeah.
Let him down twice. And then I had Dest at the right side, and then obviously Turner in goal.
Yeah.
All right, so we agreed. Apart from 2, no, you said Chris Richards, so just the one.
I
Well,
wanted Chris Richards too. I just switch it because
Yeah.
Ream is a natural lefty, correct?
Left-footed, I believe so.
Is Richards, or is he just play on the left center back?
No, Richards is right-footed, so yeah, Tim Ream would go into left center back. Yeah, there you go. So that's our thoughts on the men's national team, and hope you all enjoyed that segment. I really enjoyed having something to talk about with them. Honestly.
Yeah, I could talk.
And that would be a good thing.
I could talk about the U.S. team for hours.
Which should be exciting when Copa America rolls around and all that stuff.
It's such a good test. Like it's such a good litmus test.
All right, coming up this weekend, first game of the weekend, we got Liverpool versus Everton in the Merseyside Derby. We're both thinking it's a Liverpool win. You think easy win for Liverpool?
It should be. It's Merseyside Derby though. Like Sean Dyche is Everton coach. Like could be a 1-1, 0-0.
I could see Liverpool getting a little bit screwed by VAR again. Van Dijk red card, something like that.
Hopefully that'd be cool.
Something silly. Right now, my stance is I want Liverpool to win every game besides the ones against Arsenal, because I think Arsenal got a good chance of winning a lot of games. If Liverpool keep winning, they can beat Man City at least once. I think that'll help us out.
Okay. It's a risky play, but
yeah, we'll be okay. Brentford Burnley should be a Brentford win, but stuff can happen. Can Burnley find it? They gotta score some goals.
They gotta score some goals.
Bournemouth Wolves. I'm thinking Wolves here. I don't know.
Probably Wolves. I would imagine that's gonna be one of the least entertaining games.
Unless Neto and Hwang Hee-chan start to go off.
Yeah, I just think like passage of play and the way they play, I can't imagine it being overly open. But
yeah, Nottingham Forest Luton. I think this is the other one. That's going to be a pretty boring game. We'll see what happens. Man City Brighton. We're thinking is going to be end to end quick fire.
That's gonna be a fun game to watch for sure.
It's at the Etihad too.
Yeah, that'll be good.
That'll be interesting. Newcastle Crystal Palace. I see only really one outcome. If Newcastle can beat PSG by 3 goals, they should be able to beat Crystal Palace by like 6.
You would think so.
Chelsea Arsenal, hoping for an easy Arsenal win, but I'm expecting like a 2-1 or something like that.
That's fair.
Sheffield versus Man U. I think you guys will take them out back, but we'll see what happens.
We got some people coming back. Kobe Mino is back.
Wow.
And so that's exciting. A young 18-year-old.
Yeah. Sounds like the make or break return from injury that you guys are looking for. I thought you were going to say something exciting.
Nope.
Aston Villa, West Ham. I think that actually could be an interesting game too.
That is actually a very good game.
Yeah, I think Villa have been playing really well. I'm excited to see Kudus play again. He just looks exciting to me.
Yeah.
And Tottenham Fulham. Unfortunately, I think Tottenham are going to win that one.
I would agree.
So I think that's about it for today. In fantasy, we still have. I put out the standings the other day. Nick is holding on in first, then followed by Young Chromosome, then me. I can't remember who's in fourth.
Doesn't matter. They're a bunch of losers, anyways.
So, but it's tight at the top. So we'll see how this weekend treats everyone. I think it'll be interesting. I think, I don't know who I'm going to captain. I don't think it'll be Haaland right now. I don't think so.
Okay.
Which is a gamble in itself because he could score a hat trick.
True.
But all right. Well, we will talk to you guys again on Monday of next week following all these games. And see what happened. But thank you, as always, for tuning in. Make sure you check us out on Twitter at the Away Fans Podcast. And also check out our other friends podcast at the Film Box, who's part of our group in Press Play now. So feel free to go enjoy that if you like movies, want to hear some reviews. They do like tier lists on different subjects, stuff like that. Really entertaining. If you're into the cinema, it's a good time. So